All right. This is thing on. Yep. All right. Welcome back to this episode of Bugs and Mickey Storytime with
Mm.
Friends, where we reach Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Yes,
So,
Lips King, what do you think of my new tie? Uh, Your new tie, Trevor? Wait, hold on. Yep. Hold on. Huh,
ooh,
This is, hold on a minute. It says, yeah. What do you think? It says
mm,
DK. Whose tie belongs to? Uh,
I,
nothing.
I believe it. I believe it belongs to Donkey Kong.
Uh, who stole my tie? Oh, hello, self-broken monkey fish. Oh, ah,
Well,
ah.
just wow, great introduction to start off this stream, Trevor.
Oh man, even though, honestly, Trevor, you
Uh,
need to stop doing something stupid.
okay. Anyway, last where we left off with of course, Shaggy's chapter. So now we're going to pick up from there where we're going to Velma's chapter.
Ooh, I actually am quite excited. You guys are doing Scooby-Doo to Monsters Unleashed.
Yep. Which, you know. All right. So let's get right to it here. We're gonna reprise the role. So let's see. As you see, Eric reprises his role as Fred in this part. Shine will be reprising her role as Daphne. Vanna
Yeah.
will be reprising her role as Thelma. Luigi will be reprising her role as Shaggy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which just
and
makes sense, cause Luigi and Shaggy. Hmm.
all right. All right. So all right, let's continue on. All right. We heard Shaggy and Scooby screaming and ran toward them following the sound. When we got to the room where the screams came from, we burst in, jumping over furniture and armor that lay scattered on the floor. I could hardly believe my eyes. The Black Knight ghost had come to life. Uh-oh. Wait. So, does that mean it's going to be referencing What a Night for a Night? Good, because of the Black Knight ghost.
Oh great, the Black Knight goes. Well, oh, hello, I'm Commander here. Huh, at least nobody said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just the Just the other evening, he had been no more than a costume at the exhibit. Now he was here, and he was about to behead Shaggy and Scooby. Fred picked up a sword and shield from a suit of armor and held it in front of him. Oh boy. All right, Eric. Mr. Needles, you my love, you ready? Yes, I am, Glamour girl. All right. Yo, Metalhead! You shouted at the Black Knight. Ghost. Well, oh. Wait. Oh, wait. That reminds me of something. What is it? Since Trevor is wearing like a metal with the knight hat or Viking hat or whatever, is Trevor really a metalhead? No, don't ever call Trevor a metalhead.
yeah, I agree. Trevor, I thought you've been attacked by Donkey Kong. Uh, uh, oh yeah, I just put him in the toilet. You put Donkey Kong in the toilet? Yep.
Wow,
Uh,
just no, Trevor, you stoop so low right now. Anyway, moving on. The Black Knight Ghost forgot about Scooby and Shaggy and started toward Fred. He held his own sword and shield high. Fred wasn't scared though. Bring it, he said defiantly, or whatever you might pronounce that word. Hmm.
Here he comes!
Yes. What they say. All right. The ghost whacked Fred hard with his shield.
Clang!
What's with the clang? Alex did it.
I wanted to do a sound effect.
Well, I guess it was necessary. All right. He brought it. Fred moaned as he fell to the floor unconscious. Once again, the Black Knight Ghost raised his sword high, preparing to slice off Fred's head. But when he brought it down towards Fred's neck, it charged against a knight's lance. It was held by Daphne. She grabbed it from the pile of things on the floor. Daphne jumped up and faced the Black Knight Ghost. She's become a master swordsman, but the Black Knight Ghost was awfully good, too. Wait, Daphne was still related to Poe from Kung Fu Panda. Trevor, please.
No. Honestly, Daphne is related to Maggie. Really, Trevor, that SMG for puzzle vision?
Ay. This isn't the time for a reference right now.
Well, it's inspired by Plush Brain Story Time from Mike's Toontown.
Okay.
All right. Daphne was fighting hard, but I didn't know how long she could hold him off. I figured that the only way I could help was by using my brain. What better yet? Think. Poe, you're not even in this video. Oh, right, I forgot. I still clutch the book of ancient magic we found. Maybe it contains some formula or something that would stop the Black Knight Ghost. I began flipping through the pages and soon came across a very complicated-looking math formula. Luckily, I'm sort of a mathematical genius. You mean like in psychic school? What?
Wait, Kitty. Yeah. You're here, Kitty.
Wait, does psychic school have anyone that has a math class? That's a good question, actually, Kitty. Why? How come there will be one? Yeah. All right, moving on. This is one blocking formula, and it took a lot of figuring out. I wasn't even finished with it and when the lance flew out of Daphne's hand and the Black Knight Ghost hurled her across the room. Yeah. All right. I kept reading as he turned toward me, raising his sword and preparing to strike. I figured out the formula just in time. Basically, it boiled down to this advice: kick him and run. Thanks to the formula, my kick was well placed. Oh, wait, the Black Knight Ghost somehow is starting to whimper. Mommy. Oh, wait. Mommy? What? Trevor, we're not your mom. Oh.
I'll try. I'll try that part. Mommy.
Good one.
Honestly, I do have to question with your Trevor and my Trevor. Is it true because you have a dad, which is, Mr. Troublemeyer?
Oh, yeah. I remember that character, actually.
Oh, yeah. If you're wondering who did the mommy, that was me, Bill, because, he's a ghost, and I'm a ghost, so it makes sense.
I see. Night. What's so funny? The pun that Velma made. I can't believe you said that pun. Oh, I see how it is. Very funny. I told him, now run! I yelled to the rest of the gang. We all charged out of the room and headed straight out the front door. We piled into the van and Fred hit the gas. The van has a name, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my mamma mia. Oh, my goodness, that's more line, Mix King.
Oh, my God. My heart didn't
Honestly, I'll line Mario.
Yeah. My heart didn't stop counting until we were back in our office with the door safely locked.
Like, guys, Scooby's feeling kind of under the weather,
Shaggy announced. It was true. Scooby looked horrible. He was foaming at the mouth and moaning.
He needs some, fresh air.
Shaggy continued.
We'll catch up with you later.
Oh, man. All I can think of now is where our weather's literally, and our is when I got it was like 93 degrees out there. Yeah. My area will have a hot summer. Trust me.
Yeah, honestly. By the way, you remember when, oh yeah, Vanna, you remember when Eric and Trevor just turned summer into winter in that episode?
Wait a second. That plot seems still similar to Winter, this Winter episode from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh yeah, is it because of the snow cones? Of course, MK Manning. Of course, with the snow cones.
We watched the two of them leave, and Fred looked at Daphne and me, worried. That's the third time this month he's gotten rabies. Why do I have any rabies?
Oh great. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I mean, I remember in Ice to Meet You, the psychic episode. I remember Kay is gone crazy when she wants to turn summer into winter.
Oh, yeah. So, we might need to watch the show sometime. He said, but we knew that if anyone could help Scooby, Shaggy could. So it was time to get back to business. Maybe our research would make more sense now that we had the ancient book from Wickles Manor. I went to the crime lab and pulled up the computer files that held our research. Feeling hopeful, I opened the file that had the result of the computer scan I'd run on the reptile scale. Pinkies, I murmured as I weed. What is it, film? Fred asked, coming up alongside me. I walked out to the outside office and opened the Book of Ancient Magic. It was just as I'd thought. Our analysis of the pterodactyl scale shows that it contains randomonium. What's randomonium? I don't actually know.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I've always kind of noticed.
Which this book says that it's a critical ingredient needed to make a monster. Daphne joined us, looking over our shoulders at the book.
Doesn't randomonium glow?
She asked.
Remember those footprints in the library?
Oh, so that's what randomonium is. Oh, it lights up. Oh. She was right. This was definitely another important clue. If we can prove Wickles is behind this, Coolsville will dig us more than ever, Fred said.
Where would Wickles get randomonium?
Daphne wondered. Randomonium is a byproduct of certain silver mines, I recalled. Like the ones at an abandoned mining town in old Coolsville, Fred suggested. We should. I had an idea, but it flew right out of my mind. That was because I was completely distracted by something totally unexpected I spotted through our front window. Patrick, the director of the Coulsonian Criminology Museum, the man of my dreams, was about to ring our front doorbell. The doorbell rang.
Ding dong!
I dove behind our couch. The bell rang again as I crawled quickly toward the crime lab. Although I was hopelessly in love with Patrick, I couldn't face the idea of going on a date. As adorable as he was, dates terrified me.
Keep him here.
Daphne told Fred, Wait, Eric. Yes, Vanna? Remember that date we had with you, me, Kane's Kitty, and Kane's Mandy? Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, that date was a success. Sure was, my dear. All right. I crawled. Go ahead.
Honestly, I do have someone with me. I do have Mandy in this. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey. I crawled even faster toward the crime lab. It was the best hiding spot I could think of.
What are you doing?
Daphne asked as she got onto her hands and knees and crawled alongside me. He wants me to ask God, Jate, I explained, feeling panic-stricken.
It's okay to be scared.
Daphne said. I'm not scared, I argued. I fought werewolves and ghosts, but I know that at the end, we always unmask them and it's just little scared men inside. No, I'm much more comfortable with the world of logic and facts. And I'm not hot,
Me neither.
said Daphne sadly.
When I look in the mirror, all I see are my hideous ear lobes.
Yeah, Daphne, you have hideous earlobes. Oh, Trevor. Oh my god. Then she perked up again. But that's why God made long hair and earrings. Everyone has flaws, Velma. Oh, wait, that's Daphne. Oops. Sorry.
It's okay.
Say it.
But that's why God flaws, Velma. Everyone has flaws, Velma. Alright, wait, hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. The object of a healthy relationship is to never let the other person know they're there.
I sighed. I really like this guy. What would you do if someone thought you were some glamorous and mysterious jet setter?
I make one myself.
Daphne declared.
Follow me.
Together we crawled into the crime lab. Daphne found her emergency makeup bag, her hair stuff, and her secret stash of clothing. I like clothing. She quickly got to work on my makeover. Outside, I could hear Patrick talking to Fred. Would this work? Could Daphne's flair for style turn even a hopeless case like me into a glamorous person of mystery?
Perfect.
Daphne declared when she was done.
You can wear this.
She pulled a tight-fitting leather outfit from her bag.
Yes, come on.
She urged me.
You'll look great in it. You'll look great in it.
I didn't think so, but Daphne was the expert. Okay, I agreed and squirmed into it. I was too nervous to even look in the mirror.
All you have to do now is act the part.
Daphne instructed me.
Act like a jet set adventurer. Believe it.
Tossing my head back bravely, I walked into the front office where Fred and Patrick were still talking. Patrick's eyes widened when he saw me. He was clearly stunned by my new look.
Velma?
He asked. I opened my mouth to say something, but no sound came out. Daphne jumped in to help me.
Sorry we're late.
She said to Patrick.
Velma was just showing me some new exotic fighting moves she learned on her latest trip to Togo. Joe, Patrick, Velma.
Wait, I thought it was called To Go. Trevor is the name of a place.
No, it's called Tokyo. You know, it's Togo, not Tokyo.
Good thing it wasn't called Yogo, as in the defunct product Yogos.
Yeah, the branding. Togo? I've never been to Togo. Then I got it. Daphne was trying to make me look like an exotic woman of mystery to impress Patrick. I gave it my best try, swinging my arms and kicking while I shouted martial arts kinds of cries. I will want to come up against that in a deadly battle, Fred said. The gang was really trying to help me.
Absolutely.
Daphne agreed.
Gosh, wow.
Patrick said.
I've always wanted to be a detective like you guys, only I'm not in a gang. Well, I was in tech school. We were the cryptologists.
Guys, we have a mystery to solve, Fred said. I could see he was eager to get on with the case. Patrick realized it too. He faced me and started talking a mile a minute.
Anyway, I came here because I was thinking about what you said yesterday, Velma, about how you didn't have time to go out, and I thought, what the heck? Why don't I help her work on the case? That way we could hang out and solve the mystery.
We're professionals, Patrick, Brent said. We don't give tours up.
But we can give rides.
Daphne interrupted him.
We can give you a ride to the museum, which is right on the way.
I didn't know whether to be angry at Daphne or to thank her, but either way, I wound up sitting in the backseat of the mystery machine next to Patrick.
You know, Velma, I have to admit that you're a little different than I thought. I mean, you're as beautiful as ever, but I'm not sure a guy like me would fit into your world.
He stuttered. For the first time, I looked in the rear view mirror and saw how Daphne had made me over. Wow, did I ever look changed. No wonder Patrick thought I was different. I was about to explain to him that this wasn't the real me, but something stopped me. Maybe it was the look of total horror he now wore on his face. I followed his gaze and my jaw dropped. Jinkies, I murmured. Alright, chapter 8 with Daphne.
We all started out at the front of the Coulsonian Criminology Museum. It was obvious that something awful had just happened. Police cars were parked everywhere. Museum guards wandered on the sidewalk, looking dazed and confused. Reporters and camera people poured out of the news vans and all around. People gawked at the scene. My museum! Patrick cried. I tried hard to light the fire in Velma's romance with Patrick, but this latest disaster had really thrown a bucket of cold water on the flames of love. He climbed out of the van and ran up to the museum steps without even a glance back at Velma. We climbed out of the van, and that news viper Heather, Jasmine Howe, was right there, sticking a microphone in Fred's face. Her crazy cameraman, Ned, was darting around looking for the best camera angle, as usual.
Not to be confused with Ned from Ned's Newt.
What is a dead friend? Trevor, don't.
Any comment on the museum robbery? Heather asked Fred. Fred was pretty stunned by the scene, but he did his best to answer.
We're investigating the 2 stolen costumes as we speak,
he said. No, I mean the robbery that just happened, she explained. The one where the Black Knight ghost and the 10,000-volt ghost stole the rest of the costumes.
The rest of the costumes?
Fred cried. Then he forced himself to calm down.
I mean, yes, we know exactly what's happened because Mystery Inc. is always in control.
So what you're saying is that it's all downhill for Mystery Inc.? Heather Jasper Howe asked secretly. I could tell that she was trying to make a fool out of Fred for the second time.
Yes, no, hey!
Fred said, completely confused.
You're doing that thing again where you'll take everything I say out of context. You're trying to get me to say Coolsville stinks again, so... No, don't record that.
Let's go inside, I suggested to Velma. I couldn't stand there and watch that horrible woman make Fred say whatever she wanted him to say. Velma and I hurried up the steps into the museum, which we walked into the main lobby. When we walked into the main lobby, Patrick stood looking at his broken, destroyed exhibit. Every single costume had been taken. There was even more shattered glass on the floor than there had been the night before. Velma walked up behind Patrick and put her hand on his shoulder.
Patrick, I'm sorry,
she said.
This must be so hard for you,
he began, but then his voice became rough and he seemed to choke up. I'm sorry. I have to go. He stumbled toward the door.
Go where?
She called after him. I don't know. I have to figure out what's going on here, he replied. Together we watched him run out of the museum.
He's using all this as an excuse to get as far away from me as he can,
Velma said sadly.
I should have known. A cool guy like him could never go for me. I
sighed. Why couldn't Velma see that Patrick was crazy about her? Velma unzipped the leather outfit I had lent her. Underneath, she still had on her sweater, skirt, and knee socks. She wiped the makeup off her face. So much for the new Velma. Fred ran in carrying a newspaper. Our picture was on the front page. Then I saw the headline above it. Mystery stink. I couldn't feel myself turning red with anger. Velma just shook her head sadly.
Oh, great. All I can think of now is in the Psychic series, they treated me like crap. Even on the ending of the series finale, Graduation Days. We don't want to be reminded of that. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Besides,
Oh, yeah.
Eric, you didn't even deserve this. We all trust you.
Yeah, it's kind of true. Oh, yeah, Vanna, you just noticed because I don't want to remind all four of you.
Yeah, to be honest. Yeah. All right. Next page.
I have to give Fred credit for staying calm.
Come on, gang.
He said.
Let's go to the mining town. We have a mystery to solve.
He was setting a good example, but it wasn't easy, especially when we got into the mystery machine and turned on the radio. The first thing we heard was Heather Jasper Howe's voice reporting the news. All Fred Jones said was, Coolsville stinks. Once again, she'd taken his words and twisted them around. Fred just closed his eyes and then slammed his head on the dashboard. That was it. I couldn't stand what Heather Jasper Howe was doing to Fred and the rest of us. I spotted her at the side of the museum, finishing her broadcast. I'll be right back, I said. Slipping out of the van, I ran back to the museum and hurried up the steps to confront Heather and her hyper cameraman. What's up with the personal attacks? I asked her angrily. The sweet smile she always wore faded from her face. Don't act tough with me, she came back forcefully. I know what you're about. You think you could dazzle everyone with your pearly whites? But what do you do for the gang, really? Velma is the smart one. Fred's the leader. All you are is the pretty face. Everyone knows there's nothing on the inside. I was stunned. Why are you doing this? I asked. Because it's my job to unmask those who are pretend to be who they're not, she replied. Unmask? Where had I heard that word recently? The evil hooded figure from the night before. You sound like... Then I paused. It was a wild idea. Too wild. But still. You sound just like the evil masked guy. But you know that, don't you? Because just as you know I'm standing here, you know that I know who you know you are, which is him. Who's a her, which is you. I was onto her. Heather looked amused. Oh, now I see what you do for the gang. You're in charge of incoherent babbling. I was about to say something witty back to her, but I was distracted by an all too familiar evil cackle of laughter, looking up sharply. I saw the evil masked figure standing on the roof of the museum. Citizens of Coolville, he called. Once again, your city and your heroes have proven useless before my power. Enjoy your last days of freedom. Soon, Coolville will be mine.
What? No, it isn't. Coolsville will be ours. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, yeah, I'm not kind of agree with Scooby and Shaggy.
Oh, great. Yeah, I agree.
Wait. I just know it's going to be funnier. What is it, Mario?
But the
Imagine if...
his cape wide and disappeared. Darn it, Heather Jasper Howe shouted. Then she turned on me. You made me miss the biggest news scoop yet. Can't you do anything right? I didn't care about her scoop, but I missed the chance to get closest to the evil masked figure. And I'd been wrong about Heather being him. How could she be when I just seen on both of them at the same time? I didn't let Patrick run away, running away without getting him together with Velma. Maybe Heather was right. Maybe I was just all looks and no brains.
And what were you about to say, MK Mario?
I was going to say, imagine if Mick King is going to be in Hayden's place. That will never happen, Mario.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway. All right. Chapter 9.
And with
Alright.
Shaggy. Oh, there's a mixed I meant to say Papa Moose. Really?
I felt bad lying to the gang about Scooby feeling sick, but it was the only way we could sneak away and prove ourselves as mono groovy detectives. Plus, after we escaped from that scary black night ghost, the day totally improved. For one thing, Scooby and I found a diner with an all-you-can-eat food bar. By the time we finished eating all we could, the sun was setting. I belched and turned to Scooby. I guess we should get back to solving this case, I said. Let's go to the Fox Ghost. He burped. He nodded. We left the diner and headed to the Fox Ghost, a seedy night spot where many low-life bad guy types hang out. We could hide behind this trash dumpster and see who goes in, I suggested. Scoob agreed. It didn't take long for the shady, sinister, and no good to start showing up.
Or more like No Good Nick. That's a better name.
A big tough guy smoking a cigar was the first one I recognized. Remember him? That's C.L. Magnus, I whispered to Scooby, who crouched beside me behind the big trash container. He is dressed up as Redbeard's ghost. The next one to go in was a woman some might say was attractive, if they liked evil, scary women, that is. Remember her? That's Aggie Wilkins, I told Scoob. She was also known as the Ozark Witch. These are all, folks we unmasked, man, as they spot us. They'll invite us to a weenie roast. One where we're the weenies. Scooby pointed across the street. He spotted a store with lots of underworld-style clothing in the window. Groovy, Scooby, I said. Detectives do go undercover, don't they? We crept out from behind the dumpster and scurried over to the shop to buy our tough guy outfits. In less than 10 minutes, we were outfitted and looking bad. Not the good bad, the really bad bad. Scooby had on a wig, star-shaped sunglasses, a white jumpsuit, and platform tennis shoes that lit up when he walked. I found a purple suit and hat that made me look mean. When we knocked through the crowd in that club, heads turned. Hey, 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 I said in my coolest bad guy voice.
Fellow Bert!
Everybody part like the Red Sea. It's me, Cheesy McCreepy, and my brother, Esty McCrawley, in the house and ready to party. The no-good customers stared at us as we popped and strutted our stuff. The place was like a criminal clubhouse full of banners and posters of Coolville's most famous and most evil villains. Aggie Wilkins slided up to Scooby and looked him over. Hello, handsome, she cooed. Rello, Scooby replied smoothly. But before he could say anything else, a giant tattooed tough guy pushed her aside and grabbed Scoob by the collar. This is a private club, he growled. The only way you can belong is by dressing up as a terrifying creature and scaring the crud out of innocent people. I rested Scooby's side and spoke to the giant goon who was threatening him. I guess you don't know that my brother and me are the famous West Coast pickle. Pickle you is filled 50% pickle, 50% Dracula, and 100% terrifying. I gave him my scariest look, and the dude stepped back impressed. Cool, he said. I was the cotton candy god. You definitely fooled the guy, which was a good thing, because I could tell that the real Shaggy and Scooby would have been pretty popular in this club. For one thing, off to the side was a boxing gym, and the speed bags everyone was punching were decorated with some familiar faces. Fred's, Velma's, Daphne's, Scooby's, and mine. Zoinks! And the gopher pounding game had been changed into a mystery ink pounding game. It made my head hurt just to watch it. I was so busy looking around and absorbing all the bad vibes that I didn't notice that a fight had broken out. One of the fighters was thrown right into Scooby. He would have flattened Scooby if someone hadn't pulled my pal out of the way just in time. Watch it, you idiots! The amazingly ugly old dude who had just saved Scooby shouted. My jaw dropped when I realized who he was. Old Man Wickles, I gasped. He glared at me. Leave me alone, he said, walking away. I couldn't let him get away. He was one of our main suspects. Your portrayal of the Black Knight Ghost was like, inspiration to my brother and me, I gasped. I figured that everyone likes to be flattered. He might stick around if I praised him. It's because of you we decided to dress up like a couple of weird and...
What? Oh, so it's like a poster here.
Oops, cut off by a poster.
But don't worry, at least we get to show some of these. Are these like clips from the movie?
I think it is, and also Mario. I think at least you didn't jinx yourself because Ken didn't bring was in there.
Yeah. Wait a second. Oh, wait, I know where this is coming from. It looks like the ones from like Scooby-Doo Disco Detectives at like Movie World. I think Scooby-Doo Disco Detectives didn't even exist at Movie World Gold Coast anymore. Yeah. Whoever has heard of this attraction from Australia?
Yeah. Okay, anyways. Evil Pickleculus, have you done anything, like, really cool and evil lately? The old guy stared at us unsuspiciously, but I suspected that I was winning him over. Listen, he croaked. I ain't usually for the giving of advice, but I feel sorry for you due to your brother's hideous deformity. Poor Scooby. He touched his nose self-consciously. Get out of the game while you got the chance, Wickles went on. We ain't nothing to be admired. We kinda done something good with our lives, but instead we dressed up like supernatural idiots because we wanted people to think we was magical and important and powerful. Why? Because that was the opposite of what we really felt. I was really touched by his, heartfelt words. Well, I said, I guess you're sort of like great for the Mystery Inc. for unmasking you, huh? Wiggles reached into a bowl and scooped out a handful of peanuts. Then he laid them on the table and banged them under his withered old fist. Are you kidding? He shouted. If I saw those twists, I'd pound them like these nuts. He continued to smash the peanuts until they were just dust on his fingers. It was just a little, upsetting.
Wait, hold the phone. Did old man Wickles just say these nuts?
And I don't think they mean the other kind of nuts.
Oh God.
Yeah. Take that from Alex, Trevor.
I think I hear the cotton candy club calling us. I said nervously. Right, Scooby said, waving to Wickles. We hurried away from the creepy old dude. I wanted to get out of there as fast as we could, but nature called and I had to make a trip to the bathroom. Don't do anything to attract anyone, I told Scooby when I left him, but by the time I came out, I found Scooby leading a dance line. All the creepy dogs in the place were following him as he boogied around the dance floor. When he saw me, he whirled around and waved. That's when his wig went flying across the room. The dancers stopped dancing. The band stopped playing. Everyone froze except for Scooby. He kept dancing and smiling, but then slowly he realized that everyone was staring at him. That's Scooby-Doo! CL Magnus, the guy with the cigar, shouted. He's the meddling mutt that helped throw us into jail. Scooby started to shake and shiver. I ran in front of him.
Oh, I get it, because it references the theme song.
No, man, this is S.D. McCrawley, I told the crowd. He's just wearing a mask. See? I grabbed Scooby's face and stretched it wide, letting it snap back into place. As I did this, though, my hat fell off.
Oh, Scooby and Shaggy are in for a good treat.
Uh-oh. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it can't be good. Mixed Lord, when did you get here? Well, at least it's not me. I know I'm coming in. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm coming in. When did you get here? Really, Mixed Lord? Oh my goodness.
And you're Dude's best pal, Shaggy Rogers, the tattooed former cotton candy glob, cried. The crowd began rumbling angrily. Zoinks! I shouted as I warmed up my legs, getting ready to run. Let gang away! Scooby and I leaped over a table and into a trash chute. Whoosh! Down we slid and landed with a thud right in the side of the trash container. Wham! A load of garbage poured right down on top of us. I smelled some tasty food in the garbage, but it was still pretty gross. It took us a few minutes before we could poke our heads out from under it all. When I did manage to see over the top of the container, I noticed two men talking in the shadows of a streetlight. One of them was the tattooed cotton candy grab. The other guy was yelling at him. Then find out, he shouted. I want answers. The tattoo guy nodded and hurried off. The one who had been yelling at him turned and began to walk towards us. I ducked lower in the container. When he stepped directly under the light, I could see his face. It was Patrick. He saw me, and at the same time I realized who he was. Shaggy? He called. Scooby? What are you two doing here? Being undercover and stuff, I answered. And you?
Oh.
My museum was broken into again, he replied. I came down here to see what I could find out. I had to put on that tough guy act so these guys didn't eat me alive, you know? Like, I really didn't know, but I nodded anyway. I guess Patrick could tell I was faking it, because he got totally creepy all of a sudden. What? You don't believe me? He screeched, his voice all spooky. I looked at Scoob, and all we could do was gulp. What now? But suddenly Patrick was back to his old self again. He laughed and punched me on the arm. Like, we're old pals. Just kidding you, man. Sorry, it's hard not to, because you're just easy to scare. He was right about that. But it was still weird. And then he got all freaky again. As you should be. I felt my eyes get wide. But before I could run, normal Patrick was back again. I'm joking, Shaggy. Chill out. And then crazy Patrick jumped in again. No, do not chill out. Zoinks! Scooby and I were ready to get out of there, but Patrick was laughing so hard that it seemed to be like the whole thing was really a joke. Sorry, he said, catching his breath between laughs. I gotta stop, man. I'm just a bit nervous. You know, with all this excitement. Whatever. I spotted old man Wickles leaving the club by a side door. Scooby saw him too. It was time to get away from the creepy curator. Patrick, we could totally do this all night. And something tells me we would. But we gotta make like your personality and split. We took off, dawdling from building to building into the dark streets so old man Wickles wouldn't spot us. Wickles stopped at the corner to wait for a traffic light. He turned and almost saw us. Scooby and I ducked behind a building just in time. I know what to do, I told Scooby. We should split up so we're not easy to spot. I'd come equipped for something like this, reaching into my jacket pocket. I pulled out 2 tin cans attached with a long string. A phone, I explained to Scooby. We talked through the cans. You take one can and I'll take the other. This way we can stay in touch with each other while we follow Wickles. The light changed and Wickles crossed the street. We hurried after him, but went in different ways, stretching the string out between us as we went. Scooby-Doo, can you hear me? I whispered into my can. Hello, he replied. It was working. We kept following Wickles through Coolsville. I soon realized where we were headed, and I didn't like it. This is the This is the oldest part of the city, I told Scooby, speaking into my can. It's been deserted for 100 times. It's been deserted for 100 years. Railroad! Raggy! He shouted into the phone. Yes, hello, I said. Scooby thought the phone was a toy and he was enjoying it just like a little too much. Now pay attention. The point is that Wickles has led us like into a terrifying ghost town. That made him get serious. Rose round? He asked nervously. Yes, I replied. Suddenly my eardrums were nearly blown out by the sound of Scoop's terrified scream coming over the can phone. I hurried to him to find out what was wrong. It was nothing major. The mining town was awfully dark and scary, and it had frightened him. Unfortunately, Wiggles heard the screaming and turned. I clapped a hand over Scooby's mouth and dragged him into an abandoned building. Scooby stopped screaming and I let go of his knot. He peeked out the door as Wiggles looked around.
Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't spy on them. Otherwise, they'll be caught.
Oh no.
Honestly, did he just say roast? Did he just say roast round? Or round?
Yes, he was talking about Ghost Town.
I guess he thought the scream had been his imagination, because after a minute, he moved on into one of the creepy old buildings. I looked over at Scoop, who was holding the tin can up to his eye now and trying to see through it. It was pretty funny because if we were going to be like real detectives, we had to follow Wickles. Let's check it out, I suggested. Scooby and I clung to each other as we searched around in the dark old building, which turned out to be some abandoned silver plant. My teeth were chattering, and Scooby's paws were shaking like crazy. At one point, Scooby got super spooked and jumped into my arms. It was so dark, and we were so freaked out that it was hard to tell what happened next. All I knew was that I saw someone next to me. That was a Scoop, and it only had one eye. Dude, did you see that? I asked. Scooby panicked. It was like a guy with an eyeball for a head. Maybe I just been seeing things, though, because Scooby looked totally calmed down and shook his head and no. I thought about it for a minute, then said, maybe it was like a reflection of your eye in the thing. I chuckled in relief, and Scooby giggled too. Guess a dark old building can make your imagination go a little crazy, especially when you know these are monsters on the loose. Just then, I realized I had a book of matches in my pocket. So I pulled one out and lit it. And it would be better than just a little moonlight coming in from those spider-webby windows. As it flared up, though, there was that huge eyeball again, like right in front of us. It was the Skeleton Man. What evil dudes we caught a long time ago.
Skeleton Man.
Oh no. Spooky, scary skeletons that shivers down your spine.
How had Scoop not?
Oh, wow.
I glanced over at my pal and saw that he was crying. Rhymes was lying, he whimpered. We both screamed as the match went out. It was totally dark. Scooby and I ran off to who knows where. We couldn't see a thing. Next thing I knew, though, I tripped over something on the ground and went flying. And Scoob tripped over me. He must have fallen into some kind of lever, because the wall in front of us slid open in the moonlight. I saw that there was an old elevator behind the wall. A definite clue, I said to Scooby. We looked at each other with frightened expressions. I could hear Scooby's teeth chattering, but we had promised to be brave detectives, so we forced ourselves to step into the elevator.
Maybe it's like an Otis, or a Dover, or a Schindler, or a Thittenkrupp.
You know what would have been You know what would have been satisfying? What would happen if this movie instead had the new Order of the Stone?
Oh my goodness.
I wonder how they would do with ghosts.
Yeah.
I wonder it'd be funny to mention Stripper Sandwich. Oh, yes. Yeah, that sandwich. Yeah,
All right.
turkey handsome Mustang. Hey, troller! I was the one saying this. My turn, Gennard. My turn. No. Yes. No. No.
Stop! Stop!
No.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Well,
Stop! Let's continue on and no arguments
Chapter 10.
with Brad. I drove the mystery machine into the abandoned mining town in Old Coolsville. Daphne, Velma, and I got out and looked around at the empty, rundown wooden buildings. Velmster, what's your assessment? I asked. I could always count on Velma to give a level-headed, sensible evaluation of the situation. Love stinks. Wait, what? Why would she say that? I like love, especially with my Eric. Me too, I like the love too. Wow. Yeah, for once, I'm glad you love Eric, because, yeah. Anyway, then that Patrick guy really gotten to her. I mean, regarding the monster situation, I explained. Oh, yes. She shook her head and seemed to go back to her whole unemotional, logical self. This is a mining town where the evil masked figure could have gotten the randomonium.
Fred, do you think I'm just a pretty face?
Daphne asked me. Eric, do you think I'm just a pretty face? Yeah, same with me. Yes, you two were pretty faces. Wink, wink.
what about Mandy over here? Yeah, what about me?
You too as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I looked at her strangely. What was she talking about? And why wasn't her mind on a case? She looked up at me with wide, serious eyes, waiting for my reply, so I had to say something. But what? How do you answer a question like that? No. I mean, yes. I mean, not that. Is this what you're looking for?
I just thought I figured out earlier who that evil mask freak might be.
She explained.
But then, well, it sort of became clear that I was wrong and fat. Why would you even say fat?
At the moment, we heard voices coming from a nearby building. We hurried over and peered in the window. Guys, I don't mean to ruin these tender moments, but monsters are trying to kill us, I whispered to Velma and Daphne. Inside, Old Man Wickle sat at a table, laying out his evil plans to the two men who were obviously his henchmen. This case was as good as solved. We had him now. The old coot was so busted. There was no sense in waiting. I stepped up to the door and pushed it open. Velma and Daphne ran up behind me. Old Man Wickles and his helper stared at us in total shock. Old Man Wickles, I cried. We've caught you red-handed in your foul, monster-making scheme with your ugly, evil henchmen. One of the henchmen looked really insulted.
We're investors,
He cried.
We're here listening to Mr. Wickles' sales pitch.
I saw that they were sitting around a small-scale model in the middle of the table. It showed the mining town changed into an amusement theme park. A sign on the table reads, Ye Old Time Mining Town Amusement Park. Oh. How did you actually know about this? I learned about this, so olden days, Old Time Mining Town Amusement Park. That's actually really good. Thank you, Trevor. For once, you actually agreed to me.
Maybe I could take a crack at it.
Yeah, I'm trying to notice. Yeah, I'm so glad penguins didn't appear. Excuse me. Oh, wow. She noticed that boy came out of nowhere. So, Lily, really? Oh, my goodness.
Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. The Ye Old Time Mining Town Amusement Park.
Good one, actually. Good one. Oops. I could feel it in my face getting red with embarrassment. Wiggles shot me an irritated look and then went back to speaking to his investors.
So, as I was saying, the old-timing mine town will be a summer camp where kids can have a real old-fashioned mining experience. We'll send the little tykes deep into the mines with a pick and a shovel, where they can dig for 18 hours straight, just like in the golden days of yore. They'll have the time of their lives, and we'll get free miners.
Oh, digging for like 18 hours straight. Oh.
Oh, it's been a while. It's gonna be a... Anyway, are you guys really? Yes, Lily.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Digging for like 18 hours could get yourself tired like a lot. And could get starved to death.
You know what? It
Yeah.
should. You know what that would. You know what that would. You know, I was gonna say that would. That was something with Willie should go mining. Same with Cadence, Lily.
I never tried mining in my life, so nah. 18 hours? No.
Yeah. And all this would technically foreshadow what would happen to Lucas and Petra in Minecraft Story Mode Season 1, Episode 8. Oh, I still feel sorry for them.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, Mr. Wickles, Velma interrupted. We need to ask you a few questions about your ties to the recent monster attacks. The investors looked to Wickles, interested in his response. I was pretty eager to hear what he had to say, too.
I don't know nothing about no monsters.
Wickles snapped. Well, then why was there randomonium on the floor in your mansion? Well, I asked. Wickles spread his arms wide.
There's randomonium all over this place.
Looking down, we could see that there were glowing footprints everywhere. He had an explanation for the randomonium, but I didn't want to let him off the hook too easily. Are you continuing to work with your old pal Jonathan Jacobo? I asked, getting right to the point.
Old pal? Jacobo?
Wickles cried.
We hated each other.
Then why did we find that monster book in your library? Thelma questioned.
Having a book doesn't make me responsible for anything.
He shouted. Then his eyes narrowed angrily and he stood.
Wait a second. You're the ones who vandalized my home. I'll call the cops on you, you diabolical little troublemakers. Which one of you stole my toilet brush?
Before we could apologize or explain our actions, the two investors picked up their briefcase and stood.
I'm sorry, Jeremiah.
One of them said to Wickles.
A scandal like this could hurt our image.
Hopefully there's no scandals involving us. Sidekicks members will happen. Same with Lily Moo.
Wait, fellas!
Wickles calling after them. But they marched down the door without so much as a look back. And you were saying, Mix King?
I was gonna honestly. I know if Grano doesn't even prove it because of. Oh yeah, that don't remind me because because someone who wore my suit and better yet, you know what, made it worse. Oh, come on, it's not that. Oh my goodness.
All right, anyway. Wickles' face turned bright red with anger. He spun around to face us.
That was good. I'll try this one. Why?
Yeah, by the way, that was from Keenan and Kel.
Oh yeah. Good show. He exploded.
Was it bad enough for you meddling teeny boppers to toss me into the pokey? Now you have to follow me around and ruin my life? This property is all I've got left, and you rats took everything else from me.
I never thought I'd find myself feeling sorry for Old Man Wickles, but the old guy's words affected me. Up till now, I had always been certain that we were being helpful. Suddenly, I wasn't so sure that we really knew what was right. Come on, gang, I said.
What should we do now?
Daphne asked. I shrugged, not really sure. Maybe we should look around, Velma suggested. Wow, I was so shook up by Old Man Wickles that I forgot to suggest splitting up and looking for clues the way I usually do. The old coot had really shaken me up. All right, and oh great, we stopped at the blank pages. All right, chapter 11 now.
Yes.
With Shaggy.
Okay. A second. The spooky old elevator started to move down. Scooby and I clung to each other, shaking and shivering. It kept going until it brought us down to an old laboratory full of weird tubes and breakers. We stepped out of the elevator and saw the glowing pandemonium that Fred had told us about, speckled around the place. Like Cluetopia, I said. We hit the clue jackpot. We went into the opposite directions to search every inch of the lab. The first thing I discovered was a massive metal door. On it was odd writing, just like the ancient writing in the How to Make a Monster book the gang had found in Old Man Rickles' library. I yanked hard on the door handle, but it wouldn't budge. Looking over my shoulder, I saw Scooby open a big metal refrigerator. Inside were beakers.
Oh, so this is the scene where Scooby gets transformed into the Tasmanian devil at one point.
Yeah, honestly, how much of Vanna didn't like the scene where Shaggy turns into? I don't want to remind yours, Shaggy, about that. What happened?
Yeah, like, don't even remind me of that, man. Oh.
Yeah, Vanna. Honestly, in the scene, what is your favorite part of the scene? Because is it when Scooby turns into the Tasmanian devil?
Well, yeah, it's a clever reference to the Looney Tunes.
Anyways, of colorful chemicals and bowls of something gloppy and glowing, Scooby dipped his paw in and scooped up the stuff, licking it. Real good, he said. Next interesting thing I discovered was some pretty complicated video equipment. A camera on a tripod was aimed at a green wall, and a video monitor was mounted on another wall beside it. I stood in front of the green wall and waved the camera. My face appeared on the monitor, but instead of there being a green wall behind me, it looked like I was standing in front of the Great Wall of China. Look, Scoob, I'm in China, I said, waving. I pushed the button and the monitor still showed my face. But now I seem to be in front of the Eiffel Tower, in the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. Strange. Scooby didn't say anything in reply, so I looked over to see what he was doing. Zoinks! I cried. Instead of Scooby, I saw a freakishly bizarre monster sitting right where Scooby had been just a minute ago. I screamed, and the monster looked over his shoulder. Raggy? He asked. Scooby? Dude, you turned into Yao Ming, I said. Scooby looked at himself in the shiny surface of a metal table. Then he started screaming. I suddenly figured out what had happened.
Which is that scene.
Oh wait, is that your yogurt? No, Trevor, it's not. You don't you drink it? No. Oh, well, just now, Trevor. You want one too? No. Oh, oh man. Mikey, I don't know why you sound like Mexican. Because I am Mexican. What are you talking about? No. Oh no. I turned into Mikey Simon, am I? Vanna, where are you? Man, why's my hair a bit blonde? You're imposter. Wait, imposter. I'm Vanna. What are you talking? Vanna, you're Lily. What the? No, this is not right. Trevor, why did you do that?
Honestly, wait a minute. This had me thinking. We could inspire the plot for the sequel of the Sidekick fan film if the first one was successful.
Yeah, honestly, what happened to us? What happened to me and Vanna? Because Trevor gave us that.
Hang on a second now. Here is the the beakers to make you guys go back to normal here. Hold on, let me go ahead and give you this. Give you guys this. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I hope it works. Uh, okay. Honestly, I'm back to normal.
Wow,
Vanna,
buddy, you're actually a lifesaver.
yeah, Vanna, how about you? Wait, why am I turning into a fun character? Oh no.
Okay.
Vanna, what? Why are you?
Hang on. We'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We had to turn all the crew from MK side back to normal. We are now ready to continue. So let's do it.
Yeah, Vanna, are you back to your normal self? Yes, I'm back to my normal self. It's kind of weird. Yeah, all of a sudden I turn into Mikey and Vanna turned to Lily.
Okay. That glowing stuff that he had eaten had turned himself into something else. Oh man, there's gotta be like an antidote around here somewhere, I said. Frantic to help my pal, I started pushing aside beakers and test tubes. Some green liquid spilled on my hand. Oh crud, I cried. I was shaking all over. When I stopped, I thought I hadn't changed at all. But then I looked down and realized I was a girl. Ah!
Uh,
I've got a chick's body.
oh God. Okay, now you just give Shaggy bad vibes. And honestly, Vanna, isn't that scene where Shaggy turns into a girl?
Oh yeah, we don't want to remind Shaggy of that. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Something to say about that.
Yeah.
Scooby started the crazy dog version of Yao Ming. I had to do something fast. I kept searching through all the scientific stuff on the table. I found some bottles that were marked with an A on the labels. Maybe A stands for antidote, I said to Scooby. Let's try it out. We each took a beaker marked A and drank from it. By the time Scooby was done drinking, he had grown a huge brain out of the top of his head. The good news was I wasn't a chick anymore. The bad news was I'd become extremely muscular, a regular Mr. America.
Can you pause for a sec?
Sure.
I wanted to say something earlier.
Ah, knowledge, you hideous plague.
Can we let Alex say something first?
Yeah. Can you let me speak?
Go right ahead.
Shaggy turned into Shagette!
Oh God. Oh no. Oh, Mama Mia, don't worry at that. When Bowser turns into you know what?
Oh
Ah.
my God.
Knowledge.
Anyway.
Knowledge, you hideous plague, Scooby said, but his words sounded like they should have come from the way someone brainy. How long I for my blissful days of ignorance. Elias, perhaps I can Rousseau. Chemical concoction that will restore.
Wait, just a wait. Oh. Well, this is the greatest scan I have ever seen. Wow. Okay, to the person who actually scanned this, I think you did not a bad job. But the sum on this page, it looks like it's a little bit cut off.
Oh well, that's right. And also, how come Mitch can't turn into me? Mikey, you're here. Yes.
It's a different story. It's a story for another time.
Come to the simple, delighted creature I once was. He turned back to the chemicals and began mixing a little of this and a little of that. Scooby wasn't the only one undergoing a brain change. Yeah, I'm buff, I shouted. My mind as well as my body had become a super macho. I felt out of control strong. Check out my pecs, little man. I boasted to Scooby as I flexed my arm muscles. I flexed until my veins bulged and my head felt ready to explode. Be still, oaf, Scooby scolded me as he mixed chemicals. Even though I wasn't a super genius like Scooby, I knew he was trying to change us back to our old selves. Our old dumb puny selves. No way, Brainiac, I yelled, snatching a beaker out of his hand. I'm gonna stay this way forever. I tossed the beaker toward the huge door. No! Scooby yelled. Too late. Kaboom!
Kaboom!
The beam exploded in a giant black cloud as it hit the door. The sound of our coughing filled the room. But when Scoob and I stopped, we heard other hacking cough in the room. In a few minutes, the smoke cleared and we saw Velma, Daphne, and Fred just outside the elevator. The stilton buffoon practically killed us, Scooby explained to them.
Oh, wow. Wait. Where is the Tasmanian Devil's part? Where is it?
Yeah. Wait. Speaking of buff, I really wish I could just beat Buff to do what to beat up horse cobbler for just lose Mikey for his champion. Mikey, just calm down. And plus, it's just a bowling game.
Okay. Go boom, I said. Go boom, I said. Stunned by the explosion, Scooby held out a beaker full of chemicals to me. When I didn't take it, he grabbed my head and put it down. Then he gulped down the remainder. More shaking, and then we were back to ourselves. Whoa, I said, holding my head.
What the heck?
Fred asked. Ryan ran an emotion, Scooby told him proudly. Fred looked at Daphne.
What?
He asked, confused. He invented a potion, she explained. But what are you guys doing here? Scooby, you're supposed to be sick. Daphne didn't look too happy with us. Neither did Fred.
You guys lied to us. We're a team. You don't just go off half-cocked doing whatever you want.
Zoinks. Looks like our technical attempts totally weren't appreciated by the rest of the gang. Sorry, man. I apologize. We were just trying to be really cool detectives like you guys. I didn't get to say any more, though, because Velma called to us, and she sounded like she found something important.
Guys?
She was standing by a huge hole where the metal door had been before I blew it off. The door lay in pieces at her feet. We gathered around as she translated the ancient language of the door's strange inscription.
Beware who enter the monster hive. Inside your fears come alive. Uh-oh.
We stepped through the hole into a room full of monster costumes. Every disguise that had been stolen from the museum hung inside clear pots mounted on the walls. There was also a big machine of some kind in the room. This must be where the evil masked figure turned the Black Knight Ghost and the 10,000 Volts costumes into real monsters, Daphne said.
Oh boy, the evil masked figure again. They're all
Really
here.
weird.
Fred observed.
Yeah, weird indeed. Every costume from every villain we've unmasked.
Velma attempted to figure out what it all meant. So, he turned the costumes into real monsters. Implies.
That he needs the costumes to make the monsters.
Fred finished. Which
implies that Patrick is the one. He's the bad guy.
Velma concluded sadly. That's why he...
That's why he wanted to go out with me to get information.
Maybe that and the fact that you're super duper terrific, Daphne suggested. She was trying to make Velma feel better, but it didn't work.
I feel bad for Velma though. Yeah, me too.
Same.
Yeah, I agree. Oh wait, it's not another yogurt. Trevor, Mix King turned to me. Really, Lily? You know what? Give me that. Hey, Killian's Lily, I got you blue yogurt, which is not potion. Actually, that was a potion. I think I was mistaken. I thought it was yogurt.
Oh
No.
Imagine if Lily. Oh, wait. Imagine if Lily turned to Mix King. Mix Lily, I thought you don't jinx that.
What? I I sent you the link. Oh, Pesky? No. Hold on. Wait. Oh, I get it.
Let's continue.
All right. Continuing on, you know what we mean.
Mm.
This is Velma saying.
Okay. Here we go. Patrick's the only one who had access to the pterodactyl ghost costume.
Velma explained.
And he left suddenly when we got to the museum.
Yeah, I cried. We saw him hanging out at the criminal's lair. Fred walked over to the big, strange-looking machine.
We need to shut this machine down for good before whoever turns all the costumes into monsters.
Daphne ran her hand along an opening in the side of the machine. Are the controls back there? She wondered, moving into the space behind the machine. Fred and Velma followed her, leaving Scooby and me all alone. We looked at each other and both of us started to tremble at the same time. But then I got myself under control. Dude, I said to Scooby, we got to get back to acting like mind-reading detectives and search for clues. It took Scooby a little while longer to get his shaking and quivering under control, but pretty soon he was ready to go. We crept along the wall searching for clues. It was pretty dark, so I flipped a switch, hoping to turn the lights on. A light went on all right. In fact, lots of lights lit up the machine turned on. Cool, I said.
Fud.
God. Oh yeah, and by the way, is Lily still herself or Mix Lord Jinx it?
Something fell on the floor, and we turned to see what it was. One of the glass pods had opened, and a criminal's costume belonging to the minor 49er now lay on the floor, covered in some kind of glop. This was terrible. We've got to get him to go back, I said. I pushed more buttons, hoping I'd find the one that would put him back. But instead, more pods opened. The Ozark witch fell out, and then the ghost clown came down. Scooby began to whine. I wanted to scream for help, but I forced myself to remain calm.
But
There had to be an
wait,
off
Ghost.
somewhere, right? I just had to find it. That's what Fred and Velma and Daphne would do. Even though Scooby was still crying and whimpering, he pointed to a large switch. Good eye, Scoob, I praised him. That's gotta be it. Here, dozens of pods began opening. It was horrible. The witch doctor, Redbeard's ghost, Captain Cutler's ghost, and the zombie all fell out of their pods. I was so horrified by what I'd done that I screamed. Only no sound came out. That's how terrified I was. Fred, Velma, and Daphne returned from behind the machine.
Well, we didn't find anything.
Fred was saying, but he trailed off when he got a look at Minor 49er, who was now lifting his pickaxe sacrificingly over his head. Y'all want this easy or hard? Take your pick, he shouted, cackling at his own joke. He swung the pick. All of us ran out of his way, screaming.
Disconnect the control panel.
Velma shouted.
It'll stop the pods from opening.
Fred nodded and headed for the panel. He had to hurl the monsters out of his path to get there. The control panel was sort of like a frisbee. He grabbed hold and yanked it off its base. The pod stopped.
Oh yeah. Great. The frisbee. Honestly, I noticed because ever since they mentioned clowns, I heard someone who hates clowns. My kitty. Oh yeah, kitty.
Dozens of monsters were free now, and it was all me and Scooby's fault. Fred had stopped hundreds more from being released. He bailed us out again, but there was no time to think about that.
We've got to get out of here,
Fred shouted.
Bring the control panel.
Velma told him as we raced for the elevator. We jumped in as the door was closing. When we got up to the top, I breathed a sigh of relief. It didn't last long, though. Horrible creatures jumped out at us from behind the old rusted machinery. There were skeletons with one large eyeball where the head should have been.
A skeleton with one eye. That is so scary. Yeah, it's scary because honestly, we should just talk because because of that scary miner. Minus 45er. Minus 49er, Gennard.
The eyeballs blinked at us, and the skeleton man made squeaky, chittering sounds. Oh man, I cried. Like the old saying goes, out of the frying pan and into the freaky skeletons with eyeballs for heads. The skeleton man were bad enough. But then the 10,000-fold ghost climbed up out of the elevator shaft. He lunged at Fred, Velma, and Daphne. They ran and chased after them. Scooby and I dashed off in another direction. The skeleton men were right behind us. We raced out of the plant onto the moonlit streets of the old mining town. The skeleton men reached down and nearly grabbed us. We ran through the streets, but they stayed with us until we came out on a dusty, steep hill. 2 trash cans nearby gave me an idea. I grabbed the lids and handed one to Scoob. We stood on them and pushed off, skidding down the hill. Ha! I thought we'd given those bony buns the slip. There was no way they could catch us. Then I looked over my shoulder and saw that the skeleton men were using their own bones as skis and ski poles. Yikes! Whenever they fell, they were able to pull themselves back together again and keep coming. The slope divided into 2 paths. I took one path, and Scooby went down the other. The skeleton men split up, some of them chasing Scoob, and some chasing me. Soon, Scoob appeared again, and he was headed straight into me. Bam! We crashed, and the next thing I knew, Scooby and I were flying off the edge of the cliff.
Uh-oh.
Yeesh, a cliff. That ain't gonna be good.
Well, that's not safe. Honestly, Gennard just said something. He said, I said minus 49er. But Gennard, you just said it wrong. It's not minus 45er, it's minus 49er.
Yeah, and Scooby and Shaggy are about to become the next inner Wile E. Coyote again.
Yep, plummeting
Honestly,
down.
I'm not. I'm seeing the Max and Matt. I forgot the episode name. Just because Kitty just did a Wile E. Coyote one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so the next chapter we're about to read will be the last chapter we'll read tonight. Then tomorrow we're going to pick up with the next chapter.
All right. Chapter 12. Back to Velma.
All right. Daphne slid the mattress into place, and Fred opened the side door of the mystery machine. Scooby and Shaggy flew in. I wiped my forehead with relief. It had worked. We had ditched the 10,000-fold ghost by jumping into the van and driving off at top speed. We were at the bottom of the cliff where I spotted Scooby and Shaggy flying off the edge. I quickly calculated the rate of speed and angle of their fall and put this plan into action. You guys okay? I asked.
Sure.
Shaggy answered, rubbing his head.
As long as you define okay as a massive agony.
Fred hopped back into the driver's seat. Let's get to headquarters, he suggested as he started the engine.
That'll be the first place the monsters will look for us.
Daphne disagreed. She was right, but I had another idea. I think I know where to go, I said. Fred hit the gas and we sped off. As the mining town disappeared behind us, Daphne turned on the TV we installed in the fan. The scene we saw on the screen was unbelievable. The monsters that had gotten free from their pods now roamed the streets of Coolsville, causing mayhem. A huge ghost ship, like the one Redbeard's ghost had once used, sailed throughout the center of town with Redbeard's ghost and Captain Cutler's ghost at the helm. Fickenstein, the zombie, and the headless horseman were there, along with dozens of others. The evil masked figure appeared and spoke to the camera.
Citizens, Turn in Mystery Inc. Your reward will let you live.
He laughed hideously, then turned to his monsters.
Go, find them.
He commanded. One of my least favorite people appeared on the screen.
The situation is dire.
However, Jasper Howard reported.
A monster army is turning Coolsville upside down in search of Mystery Inc.
Fred sold the mystery machine as we passed by our office. An angry crowd had gathered there. They held signs that said, "Unmask yourselves."
Mystery Stink. Mystery Stink.
Uh-oh, so I guess these crowd were going on strike. Oh,
Oh god, oh god, it's like the oh my goodness, it's like something goes on strike. Oh, and
Wow.
speaking of, oh, and by the way, honestly, did I just jinx myself that Lily turned into a mixed king?
boy. Yeah. Alright, turn back to normal. Anyway, they chanted, but they ran away screaming when monsters poured into the streets and began ripping apart our headquarters. It was awful, but it could have been worse. If this is what happens when dozens of monsters are loose, imagine what will happen if he lets all of them go, I said. I glanced at Scooby and Shaggy and saw they had tears in their eyes. Obviously, they felt responsible for all this, ashamed of the mistakes they made. Oh dear, so Scooby and don't tell me Scooby and Shaggy are about to cry. Oh,
Well, that's just sad. Well, at least Lily is back to normal. Honestly, Lily, what happened to you when you just drank that potion that Trevor gave you?
I was turned into you, and I turned myself back to normal.
You just turned into me. Oh god, Lily turned into mixed king. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow! All right. Heather Jasper Howell came back on the TV. She was now in her new studio, although she was still disheveled and dirty from being out on the streets of Coolsville.
I think you mean disheveled.
Disheveled, right?
Evil Max figure has sent in this tape.
He told the television audience. The evil masked figure appeared on the TV screen again.
Coolsvillians, mark my words. Unless Mystery Inc. turns themselves over to me, my monster army will destroy your city and everything you hold dear. You do the math, your heroes are zeros.
Heather Jasper Howell.
I was gonna say all out. All out. I get it. Hero zero. To quote the eel from SpongeBob, how original.
Yeah, how original. Heather Jasper Howell returned to the screen.
I beg you, Mystery Inc., if you can hear me, turn yourselves in.
Huh. Yikes.
Yeah. We watched devastated. Was this all really our fault? Maybe turning ourselves in was the right thing to do. But if we do, he'll get the control panel back, Fred said, if he'd heard my thoughts. And the city will be in even worse shape.
We'd be playing right into his hands.
Daphne agreed. As Heather Jasper Howell continued to implore us to come in, the Black Knight Ghost smashed through the new studio door and the screen turned to buzzing white static. Come on, Fred, I said. Let's go to our old high school clubhouse. We'll be safe there. He nodded and headed in that direction. When we got here, I made sure to lug the big frisbee-shaped control panel out with me. I was walking away toward the clubhouse when I realized Fred was still sitting inside the van. He looked completely stunned by everything we'd just been through. Daphne walked back to the driver's side window.
Freddy, are you okay?
She asked.
Do you need to talk?
His eyes still looked glazed over with shock. Talking is for wimps. What? Really? We all can talk.
Oh man, what is it? I forgot at this part when you mentioned wimps.
Wow. Like, Talking is for everyone.
Wait. I've heard that someone mentioned Luigi and Shaggy in the SMG for video. What the SMG for? Where did you get here? I just got here.
Oh, wow. She helped him out of the van. As we all walked, I heard Shaggy talking to Scooby.
The
Going to.
evil Max figure is turning Coolsville into Goulsville, and the gang's taking the hit for it.
He said sadly.
This is the most our-faultest screw-up ever.
Inside the old clubhouse, I was all flooded with memories of our high school days. We'd been so young, so eager, so full of hope. Back then, we solved mysteries for the love of them, not to prove anything to anybody. The mysteries seemed to unravel themselves. Sometimes the answers would just appear like magic. The place was littered with old, out-of-date equipment. Wandering around, I picked up a small gray device that had been repaired with duct tape. Jeepers! I cried softly. Wait, that's Daphne's line.
Oops. Script fail. Try again.
What am I going to say? I might say Jinkies instead of Jeepers. Yeah, good point, Vanna. Jinkies! I cried softly, recognize it. My first multiple resonance imaging device made from a crystal radio and old video games. Seeing the imaging device made me suddenly think of something. Randomonium as an algorithmic cross-currency of negative 4.121. With it, maybe we can reverse the current. Fred finished my thought. That will reverse the monster-making process. It's genius. My heart pounded excitedly. All we have to do is rewire the control panel. We bring it back to the monster hive.
And plug it back into the base.
Daphne joined in.
And all the monsters throughout the city will be destroyed.
My mind was working hard right now. I'll need something to melt metal, I told them. Fred grabbed his old toolbox from underneath a pile of junk. It'd just been gathering dust since he was small. The words, "little tough guy," were painted on the lid.
Little tough guy.
Daphne read fondly.
I remember that.
Fred took out a tiny hammer and screwdriver. Of course, I changed it a little, he said as he pulled a huge propane tank out of it. He rigged up the tank, turning it into a blowtorch. A flame shot across the room. It would certainly melt metal. I also need a soft conductive metal like gold, I said. Daphne slid the engagement ring Fred had given her from her finger.
Will this do?
She asked me. Babe, are you sure? Fred said. Daphne nodded. She was a little hesitant, but willing to sacrifice for the cause. Moments later, she'd removed 3 other rings, 7 earrings, 2 necklaces, 13 bracelets, 6 anklets, 3 toe rings, and a gold hair clip.
When the going gets through,
She declared.
the tough de-accessorize.
We finally had everything I needed. Without wasting a second, the 3 of us got to work. I opened how to make a monster and started my calculations. Daphne took apart a cordless phone, a Walkman, and an old computer to use for electronic parts. Fred used his blowtorch to melt down the jewelry. It was just like old times. Mystery Inc. was on the case. And it'll continue at part 3. Well, we're almost halfway there.
Yeah, we're almost done. Just halfway to go.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me put a bookmark. There we go.
Good thing for bookmarks.
All right.
They always pin.
Yeah, that's a great bookmark. Honestly, I just noticed because, something in my side. Scooby-Doo, just careful. Hey, Snowy, the potion will turn into you? Honestly,
Oh, wow. Anyway, that's all for this end. Oh, one more thing before we end off. We missed some lifetime comments from Gavin Richards and one guy named Josiah Cox. He said, "What would a cowboy wizard say?" I don't know. What would a cowboy wizard say? I cast belly full lead.
Oh man. Oh man.
Bob, it's so hard for that kind of joke.
Oh man, that's so funny. By the way, it's because Kane's like, was it not fun to be me?
Yeah, it was not fun, and I love Mickey Mouse. He is really cute and sweet. Well, thank you, Josiah. Thank you for that lovely compliment. Anyway, we'll see you all on part 3 coming tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow, part 3.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.